All right, so you're planning your move to the Huntsville area. You've probably seen the headlines. You've heard the buzz. Huntsville is booming. It's a tech hub. Well, it's one of the best places to live in the country. And while all of that is true, choosing the right suburb here is the decision that can make or break your entire relocation experience. Picking the wrong one can mean hours per week of traffic you didn't expect, a lifestyle that doesn't quite fit, or a budget that's stretched way too thin. Today, I'm going to make sure that doesn't happen to you. We're going to take a deep dive into 8 of the most popular suburbs that surround Huntsville, and we're going to rank them by the 9 key factors that matter the most when you're moving to a new city. That way, by the end of this video, you're going to feel a lot more confident in your decision about where to plant your roots here in Huntsville. By the way, I'm Cameron Walker, the broker and owner of Cameron Walker Realty, located right here in Huntsville. My mission with this channel is to give you accurate and timely information so that you can make an informed decision about your move. If that's what you're looking for, hit that subscribe button so I can keep you up to date with all of my content. So let's get into it. We're going to look at the most popular suburbs from Madison to Owens Crossroads and from Harvest to Newmarket. For each one, we'll break down everything from commute times and housing costs to the local lifestyle and what the real estate market is actually doing there right now. Before we dive in, I've put together a comprehensive relocation guide that covers even more detail than we can get into today. I've included a link to my relocation page with a guide in the video's description, and by request, I've started adding a QR code on the screen for those of you watching on TV. Just point your cell phone's camera at the white box, click the link that pops up on your phone screen, and that'll take you directly to my webpage with the Ultimate Huntsville Relocation Guide, and it's completely free. All right, let's start with the powerhouse of the Huntsville suburbs, Madison. When people talk about Huntsville suburbs, Madison is usually the first name that comes up, and that's for good reason. When we look at the commute and transportation, geographically, Madison is in a prime spot. It's right next to Cummings Research Park and Redstone Arsenal, so your commute can be as short as 15 to 20 minutes. It's got major highways like I-565 and Highway 72 running right through it, which gives you great access to the whole area. However, the flip side of that is Highway 72 in particular can get seriously congested, and that 15-minute drive can turn into 35 during peak hours. And like much everywhere in our area, there's no public transportation as part of your commute, so you will need a car. All right, school quality. This is a big one, and it's why so many people are willing to pay a premium to live in Madison. According to niche.com, the Madison City School District gets an overall A+ grade, and it's consistently ranked as the second best school district in the entire state of Alabama. Both high schools, Bob Jones and James Clement, are nationally recognized. For families where education is the absolute top priority, Madison is going to be a great choice. Now for housing and cost of living, those highly ranked schools come with a price tag. Madison is the most expensive suburb on our list. The median sales price for a home is typically in the high 300s, pushing towards 400 these days. You'll have the highest property tax burden in the area. Now if you're moving here from a high cost of living area like on one of the coasts or station, it might still feel like a bargain, but for the local market, it's definitely on the higher end. Now for amenities and lifestyle, Madison is a very self-sufficient city. You've got shopping centers like Cliff Farm, Town Madison, tons of restaurant, and you even have entertainment at Toyota Field where the Trash Pandas play baseball. The lifestyle is very polished, active, and family focused. Now for the community feel, the sense of community here is very strong and very active. The city organizes a ton of events. There's the Madison Street Festival, weekly farmers markets, and big holiday celebrations. And it's a very structured program community, which makes it really easy for newcomers to get plugged in. When we talk about access to healthcare, it's excellent here in Madison because of Madison Hospital's right in town. It's part of the larger Huntsville hospital system, so you're only 10 to 20 minute drive from a main medical district for more specialized care. A big one for everybody is property values. Think of Madison as a blue chip stock. The demand is consistently high because of the schools, which creates a really stable market. While things have normalized from the crazy market of the last few years, Madison remains strong and is a solid long-term investment. Now, when we look at walkability and green space, let's be clear, Madison is car dependent. Its walkability score is only 17 out of 100, meaning you need a car for almost any errands. However, it does excel at recreational green space. You've got huge parks like Dublin and Palmer, plus a great network of greenways, walking trails, biking, and hiking on Rainbow Mountain. Now for job availability, because it's so central, Madison is probably the best location in the entire metro for dual income households. No matter where your spouse or partner finds a job, Redstone Arsenal, Research Park, or even the manufacturing plants, the commute from Madison is going to be an easy one that's really manageable. Let's move on to Harvest. Harvest is a balanced contender that gives you a fantastic quality of life without the premium price tag you see in Madison. Harvest offers a great balance. You're looking at a commute that's maybe 5 to 10 minutes longer than those from Madison, generally in the 20 to 30 minute range if you're going to Redstone or Research Park. It's got great access to major roads like Highway 53 and Research Park Boulevard, but again, there's no real public transit, so a car is a must. Now, the quality of schools in Harvest is served by the Madison County School System, which is pretty highly rated. The main high school here is Sparkman High, which, according to niche.com, earns a solid B-plus grade and is known for strong academics and athletics. The feeder schools like Sparkman Middle, Madison Crossroads Elementary also get B-plus ratings. So you're getting access to a great school system without paying that Madison City premium. Housing cost of living, this is where Harvest really shines. The median home sales price is significantly lower than Madison, typically in the low 300s. This has made Harvest a hot spot for new construction, so you can find a lot of modern family-sized homes. Plus, there's an unincorporated part of the county where your property taxes are lower. When we talk about amenities and lifestyle, Harvest is more of a classic bedroom community. It's quieter and has a more relaxed, semi-rural feel. You've got your essential grocery stores and pharmacies, but for a big shopping trip or a night out, you're probably driving 15 to 20 minutes into Madison or Huntsville. People here like that separation between their quiet home life and their busy commercial areas. For the community feel, the community is a mix of folks who have been here for generations and a lot of newcomers too, which creates a really friendly and welcoming vibe. Community life is more centered around the schools, the local churches, neighborhood get-togethers, rather than the big citywide festivals. Healthcare access, now this is a key difference from Madison. Harvest doesn't have its own hospital. You're looking at about a 12 to 15 mile drive to Madison Hospital or the main Huntsville Hospital downtown. For most families, it's not a big deal, but if it's something you need to consider, definitely take it into account when you're picking your suburb. Now for property values, the Harvest real estate market is really in a growth phase. There's a ton of new construction, which signals a lot of confidence for developers in the future area. Home prices have been showing steady, healthy growth because it's still growing and might offer some potential for appreciation, say over a more mature market like Madison. Now, when we talk about walkability and green space, just like its neighbors, Harvest is car dependent, but it does have some fantastic nature and green space. The Harvest Square Nature Preserve is a 69-acre area with trails, fishing ponds, and a pavilion, and offers a more rustic, nature-focused experience than the manicured parks you'll see in Madison. Now for job opportunities, Harvest is in a great spot for two-income families. Still very convenient to get to Redstone or Research Park, and it's located in the northwest part of the county and can be a strategic advantage if one of the partners works in Huntsville and the other works in Decatur or Athens. Now let's head a bit further north to Hazel Green. This is for people who want a bit more of that country feel while still being in a growing commuter community. Talk about the commute and transportation here. Hazel Green is about 15 miles north of Huntsville. Your main artery is Highway 231, 431, also known as Memorial Parkway. The commute is a bit longer, typically 25 to 40 minutes, and that highway can get pretty congested during morning rush hour. Now this is a direct trade-off for the more affordable housing and bigger lots. When we talk about the quality of schools, Hazel Green is also part of the Madison County School System. The high school, Hazel Green High, gets a B+ from niche.com and is especially known for its championship-winning sports programs. The feeder schools like Meridianville Middle, Lynn Fanning Elementary both get A- scores from niche.com as well. When we talk about housing and cost of living, Hazel Green offers fantastic value. The median home value is well under $300,000, which is significantly lower than the county average. This means you get a larger home, more land for your money, and again, being unincorporated means you may benefit from lower county property taxes. Now for amenities and lifestyle, the lifestyle here is quiet and relaxed. You have your daily needs covered along the main highway like grocery stores, fast food, and a few local spots. Major shopping or entertainment, you're definitely driving south into Huntsville. The big appeal here is the tranquility and access to outdoor recreation like kayaking on the Flint River. For the community feel, Hazel Green has a really close-knit community that feels like it blends its agricultural roots with all the new folks moving in for jobs in Huntsville. The community really rallies around the high school sports team. There's a strong neighborly atmosphere. Healthcare access is very similar to Harvest. There's no hospital in Hazel Green itself. There is a hospital, Huntsville Hospital primary care clinic for routine stuff, but if you have an emergency or need specialist care, you're looking at a 15 to 20 mile drive south to the main hospitals in Huntsville. And when we talk about property values, the real estate market here is in strong growth phase, driven by that affordability. There's a lot of new construction happening to meet that demand. Long-term outlook is positive, especially with all the regional growth, making it a market with solid potential. When we talk about walkability and green space in Hazel Green, it's completely car dependent, with walk scores near zero. Its green spaces are more natural and spread out, and you've got access to the Flint River, so you're a short drive from some beautiful spots like Sharon Johnson Park and Montesano State Park. For job opportunities, even though it's further out, Hazel Green is still a very viable option for dual income families. The commute down Highway 231-431 is a straight shot to Huntsville, Redstone, and Research Park, keeping all the major employers within a manageable drive. Now let's touch on Toney. If you're looking for a maximum affordability in a true country setting, Toney might be the place for you. It's in the northwestern corner of the county and really prioritizes that peaceful rural lifestyle. Now for commute and transportation, let's be upfront. The commute from Toney is the longest that we're going to talk about. It's generally 30 to 45 minutes. Commute and transportation, let's be upfront. The commute from Toney is longer, generally in the 30 to 45 minute range. This is your trade-off for that country lifestyle. You'll be completely reliant on a car as there is no public transportation out here. And for the quality of schools, Toney is zoned for the same Madison County schools as Harvest. That means students here typically attend Madison Crossroads Elementary, Sparkman Middle, and Sparkman High, all of which, as we mentioned, get B+ ratings from niche.com. So getting access to such well-regarded school system as one of the most affordable areas is a huge plus. When we talk about housing and cost of living, Toney is one of the most affordable communities in the entire metro area. The median home value here is in the mid to upper 200s, which is fantastic for first-time home buyers or anyone on a tight budget. This is where you can find home with a larger lot or even a little bit of acreage, and the overall cost of living is lower than that of the national average. This is driven almost entirely by the housing savings. For amenities and lifestyles in Toney, as distinctly rural lifestyle, is very limited local amenities. You'll find a few convenience stores, but even like grocery stores, restaurants, and shopping, you're going to be driving into Harvest or Huntsville. The lifestyle is for people who prefer open space and quiet over the convenience of nearby retail spaces. For the community feel, the community here has that classic small town rural charm. It's a mix of longtime residents and new folks moving into affordable land. The social fabric is more relaxed and revolves around schools, churches, and just knowing your neighbors. Healthcare access is a major consideration. There are no hospitals and there's no major clinics in Toney, so you're looking at a 30 to 40 minute drive into Huntsville or Madison for any medical care. When it comes to property value, the Toney market offers affordability with the potential for growth. As the Huntsville metro continues to expand northward, areas like Toney are positioned to see more demand and appreciation over the long term. It's a market for someone with long-term investment horizon. As for walkability and green space, Toney is the definition of car dependent. It's got a walk score of just 1 out of 100, and the green space everywhere is in the form of private land and farms, but public parks are very limited. You're a drive away from regional parks, but not much is located right in Toney itself. Now for job opportunities, despite its rural feel, Toney is still connected to the regional job market. The commute is longer, but the major cost savings on housing can make that trade-off very attractive for dual-income families, especially since you can still access jobs in Huntsville, Madison, Decatur, or Athens. What's more important to you, a bigger house or a shorter commute? That's the core question you have to ask when you're looking at Huntsville suburbs. You can get incredible value and a lot more land in places like New Hope or Toney, where the median home price is significantly lower and actually in the mid 200,000s. But you're looking at a 35, 45, or maybe even 50-minute commute if you're driving into Redstone Arsenal. On the flip side, you can live in Madison and be 15 minutes from work, but your housing cost is going to be substantially higher, with a median price near $400,000. Now there's a sweet spot in the middle with places like Harvest, Meridianville, but it's all a trade-off. Understanding this balance is the key to finding the right fit for you and your family and your wallet. Navigating these numbers and trade-offs can be tricky. I've got a cost of living and commute time comparison sheet on my website that breaks it all down. Visit my website at CameronWalkerRealty.com/commute, and that'll take you directly to my suburb and comparison guide. Let's shift over to the northeast part of the county and talk about Newmarket. This is an area all about scenic beauty and rural suburban lifestyle. For commute and transportation, well, life in Newmarket comes a longer but more scenic commute. You're looking at 30 to 45-minute drive into Huntsville, mainly along Winchester Road. For many residents, that drive through the countryside is a welcome way to decompress after the office. However, if you're way out Winchester, you may be stuck in traffic and rush hour. Now, the quality of schools in Newmarket is part of the Madison County school system, and it's become one of the most highly rated school systems in the area with Buckhorn High School. According to niche.com, Buckhorn actually gets an A- grade and is ranked as the number 5 best high school in the Madison County area. The feeder schools are also well regarded, giving families access to an excellent school system in a more rural setting. Now, for amenities and lifestyle, the lifestyle here is centered around the outdoors. The town has your basic daily needs covered, but for major shopping and dining, you're still headed into Huntsville. The real draw is the proximity to the Flint River for kayaking and fishing, and especially Sharon Johnson Park, which is a huge county park with a lake, campground, and sports fields. Now, for the community feel, Newmarket has a strong small town community feel. It's a friendly, welcoming place where community life often revolves around school sporting events at Buckhorn High and local activities. It's growing, but it has held on to some of that rural charm. Healthcare access is another area where you have to plan for a drive. There are no hospitals in the immediate area, so you're looking at a 25 to 30-minute drive to commute into Huntsville Medical District for any major medical needs. When we talk about property value, the real estate market here is characterized by affordability, steady, stable, and growth. As Huntsville expands, the demand for affordable homes with more land is likely to keep Newmarket on a positive long-term trajectory. For walkability and green space, Newmarket is completely car dependent with no real walkable areas for errands. But its access to large-scale green space is a huge strength. The 250-acre Sharon Johnson Park is the centerpiece, offering everything from fishing and swimming to camping and hiking. For job opportunities, Newmarket is a viable, though more distant, option for dual-income families. The commute to Huntsville's major job centers is longer, but it is direct, making it a reasonable trade-off for the significant savings in housing cost. Heading to the southeast, we'll find Owens Crossroads. This area is defined by its stunning scenery, nestled in the valley surrounded by mountains, and has more upscale, nature-oriented vibe. For commuting and transportation, the main route from Owens Crossroads is Highway 431, which takes you straight into North Huntsville. The commute to downtown or Redstone is typically a very reasonable 20 to 30 minutes. The drive is beautiful, but that highway can get backed up during peak hours. Now, the quality of schools here are a major draw. The area is zoned for Huntsville City Schools. Local schools are some of the best in that district. Hampton Cove Middle School and Hampton Cove Elementary both get A- grades from niche.com and have proficiency rates well above the average. For housing and cost of living, Owens Crossroads has become one of the more expensive suburban markets, even surpassing Madison in some cases. The median home value is over $425,000, and the market is dominated by larger, newer homes and planned communities like Hampton Cove. While the overall cost of living is still below the national average, the housing costs are at the absolute premium end for our area. For amenities and lifestyle, the lifestyle here is all about outdoor recreation and scenic beauty. It's home to the Hampton Cove Golf Course and part of the famous Robert Trent Jones Golf Trail. You have immediate access to the mountains for hiking, and you're close to Lake Guntersville for boating. The vibe is upscale, active, and very connected to nature. For community feel, the community here, especially within the Hampton Cove development, is very strong. Neighbors are active and engaged throughout the community, pools, golf, and social events. The town also organizes events like holiday parades, fostering a great family-friendly atmosphere. For healthcare, there's no hospital right in town, but you are very close to Huntsville's main medical district. It's typically just a 15 to 20 minute drive to Huntsville Hospital and the Women and Children's Hospital, which is a huge asset. Now, for property value, the real estate market here is very robust and has seen significant appreciation. The high prices and steady growth reflect this desirability. The combination of great schools and incredible scenery makes it a stable, premium market with a positive outlook. For walkability and green space, it's another car-dependent suburb with a low walk score, but its access to green space is exceptional. It's right next to the Hayes Nature Preserve, the Goldsmith Schiffman Wildlife Sanctuary, which offer miles of trails. For job opportunities, Owens Crossroads is well positioned for the job market, especially for anyone working at Redstone Arsenal, NASA, or downtown Huntsville. The commute to Research Park is a bit longer, but for families with at least one partner working on the southern part of the metro, it is a fantastic option. Let's go to Meridianville. It sits in a strategic crossroads just north of Huntsville. It offers a great balance of convenience and affordability, making it a very popular choice for families. Now, for commute and transportation, its location on Highway 231-431 gives it a direct and relatively quick commute into Huntsville, often just 15 to 25 minutes to the city center or Research Park. It's a bit closer than Hazel Green, which can make a real difference in your daily drive. For the quality of schools, Meridianville is served by the same highly rated Madison County schools as Hazel Green. The feeder pattern includes Lynn Fanning Elementary, Meridianville Middle, which both get an A- score from niche.com, and Hazel Green High, which gets a B+. This strong school system is a huge draw. Now, for housing and cost of living, Meridianville hits a sweet spot for affordability. The average home value is in the low to mid 300s, placing it right in the middle ground between the high cost areas like Madison and the lower prices of more rural areas. There's been a lot of new construction, so you have a good amount of inventory of modern homes to choose from. Now, for amenities and lifestyle, the lifestyle is that of a growing suburb that still has some of the rural characteristics. You've got essential amenities like Publix and some restaurants, but for major entertainment, it's a quick drive into Huntsville, but it's quiet and convenient home base. Now, for community feel, people describe Meridianville as having a small town feel despite its growth. It's friendly and neighborly with community life centered around schools, youth sports, and local churches. For healthcare access, there's no hospital directly in Meridianville. For emergencies, you're driving about 15 to 20 minutes south to Huntsville Medical District, which is a reasonable distance for most people. As for property values, the real estate market here is very active and growing. It's driven by location and affordability. The market is moving towards a more balanced state after the recent boom, which is healthy for long-term stability and makes it a solid investment. As for walkability and green space, Meridianville is thoroughly car dependent with a walk score of near zero. Access to public green spaces within the community itself is limited, so you'll be driving to nearby regional parks like Montesano. Now, for job opportunities, its location makes it an excellent choice for dual income households. The commute down 231-431 corridor is direct and efficient into Huntsville's major employers like Downtown, Research Park, and Redstone Arsenal. Now, last but not least, let's talk about New Hope. It's located in the southeastern corner of Madison County, and this is a true small town that offers a distinct rural lifestyle and the most affordability of all of the suburbs on our list. For commute and transportation, the commute from New Hope is the longest of any suburb we've looked at, typically 35 to 50 minutes into Huntsville on Highway 431. Now, this is a community for people who truly want to leave the city far behind at the end of the day. As for the quality of the schools, New Hope has its own schools within the Madison County School District. New Hope High School receives a B grade from niche.com. While the schools are considered above average and are a central part of the community, they don't have the same resources or accolades as the top tier schools in the more affluent suburbs. For housing and cost of living, this is where New Hope's biggest selling point comes in. It's the most affordable community in our analysis, and the median listing price for a home in here is just in the mid 200s, making it incredibly accessible. The overall cost of living is low too, driven almost entirely by those housing savings. As for amenities and lifestyle, the lifestyle here is quiet, slow-paced. Local amenities are limited to the absolute basics, like a grocery store and a few local spots. For almost all shopping, dining, and entertainment, you're driving into Owens Crossroads or all the way into Huntsville. As for the community feel, New Hope has a very strong, traditional, small-town sense of community. The town comes together for events like Founders Days, cook-offs, high school sports, and it's a really close-knit, family-friendly atmosphere. When it comes to healthcare access, it is a significant challenge. There's no hospital in town, and the nearest one is in Huntsville. It's 30 to 45-minute drive away. Now, this is a critical factor, especially for anyone who's a retiree or has ongoing health concerns. As for property values, the real estate market here is driven by affordability. It hasn't seen the explosive growth of other suburbs, but it does offer stability and low entry point. Its distance from job centers will likely keep its growth more modest compared to some of those other closer-in suburbs. As for walkability and green space, New Hope is car dependent with a low walk score. The town does have a city park with a walking trail, and that serves as a real nice local hotspot for recreation. As for job opportunities, the long commute makes New Hope the most challenging location for two-income families, where both partners work in Huntsville. It's much more viable if one partner works from home or if the family is willing to accept a long drive in exchange for the town's affordability and lifestyle. All right, it's time for the final ranking. We've gone through a ton of information on all 8 of these fantastic communities. So how do they stack up against each other when we look at the big picture? Now this is important. I've taken all the criteria we discussed, everything from commute times and housing affordability to amenities, property values, and job opportunities. So based purely on those lifestyle, financial, and practical factors, here's how the suburbs rank. I have Toney in 8th place, primarily because it's the furthest from the city. If you're looking for more rural lifestyle, then you can flip these rankings upside down. New Hope is next at 7th place, and it's for the same reason as Toney. Next up is Newmarket in 6th place. It's mainly because of the commute. That said, depending on where you live in Newmarket will determine how long that commute is. Living way down Winchester Road can add 15 minutes to your commute in rush hour. Hazel Green is next at 5th place, and with a nearly identical average, you have Meridianville coming in at 4th place, followed by Owens Crossroads and Harvest, who were also neck and neck. Now, based on the criteria we laid out at the beginning of this video, the scores we attributed during our research to each suburb, Madison came in ranked at number 1. And it's no surprise, since it's so close to Huntsville, is ranked among the highest in each of the categories other than housing cost. So there you have it, from the urban suburban feel of Madison to the rural tranquility of New Hope. There really is a perfect fit for everyone. The key is to decide what your priority. Is it the school district, the commute, the price of the house, or the lifestyle you want to live on the weekends? I hope this breakdown has made that decision a lot easier for you. If you got questions about the Huntsville area or any of these suburbs, you can always reach out to us. There's a link below in the video description and have that QR code on the screen. We've helped a lot of people make this move, and whether you wind up choosing Madison, Harvest, or any of the other great communities, we'd love to work with you. Thanks for watching.